So over the past few videos, I've been doing a lot of Piggy theory videos, everything from Bunny to Mr. P to Miss P all the way to George the Pig. And I thought right now might be a good time to actually look at some of your Piggy theories. So I went across the entire internet and I found the top 5 best Piggy theories that I could find anywhere and everywhere on the internet. And I'm going to be sharing them with you in this video. And there's some pretty crazy theories in here. So let's do it. I also want to real quick set a sub goal for this video. We're actually so close to 1,100,000 subs. So if we can get 5,000 new subscribers off of this single video, I'll actually give out some Robux codes. I've actually got some right here. So if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if we do hit the sub goal for today, I'll give out some of these in tomorrow's video. So let's get into this. All right, so our first Piggy theory comes from PokeSwag777. And the theory is George is still alive. Bunny is evil and is pretending to be infected so that she could go back to Mr. P. Chapter 10 predictions. George will be found, Pony will become infected, and Mr. P in the end is second in command to the true evil leader. Now I'm going to break this down real quick. George is still alive. I literally made an entire video talking about that yesterday, but the Bunny is evil part is actually really interesting. This person says Bunny is evil and is pretending to be infected to go back to Mr. P. See, it sounds crazy, but if you think about it, it's actually not too crazy. If we go back to chapter 5, if you recall, Mr. P was actually going all the way back to the school just to save Bunny, who was trapped in the school with a bunch of monsters. Now the question is, why would Mr. P go all the way back to help Bunny when he had no issues at all locking his other friends in a cage in the carnival? He locked Foxy in the cage. Why would he lock Foxy in a cage, not help him at all, but then go all the way back to the school just to help Bunny? That's actually a good question. Not to mention go all the way back to the school to help Bunny and then immediately leave Bunny again in the next chapter by flying off in a helicopter. Why would you save someone and then immediately leave them behind again? This also adds to the theory that Bunny isn't actually infected because Minitoon himself actually tweeted out and raised some questions about whether or not Bunny is actually gone and whether or not Bunny is actually infected, because you know the rule, if there's no body, then well, they're probably still alive. Obviously I made an entire video talking about Bunny coming back in the future, but hey, maybe this is it. Maybe Bunny was actually just playing us along the entire time. She was just spying on us and now she's going back to Mr. P. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe she wasn't even infected the whole time. She was just lying about it. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Moving on to theory number 2. This is from Low Underground 40055, and he says, guys, the world of Piggy doesn't make any sense. Remember that one poster in the first chapter when it said George Piggy is missing and it said his eyes were red? Well, if you look closely, you can see the height of George Pig is around 6 feet, and if you look at the age, it only says 4. Either George somehow grew very tall or I'm just very confused. This is actually another good point because George Pig is the youngest pig in the entire series. He's 4 years old, so how in the world would he be 6 feet tall? That doesn't make sense. This also reminds me of something else I've been thinking about too, and that's how exactly is everyone getting infected? The entire world seems to be infected. The city, as you can see, is completely void. There's no one here. Everybody is infected. It's basically an apocalypse. But as we all know right now, the only way to get infected is by drinking a potion. And why would literally the entire population of the planet randomly drink a potion that some random potato dude gives you when you have no idea who he is? That doesn't make sense. Not to mention, obviously, this would be all over the news and all over the internet that this potion is evil and don't drink it. So why would people be drinking it? How are people getting infected? It doesn't make sense. Maybe Minitoon just messed up and he didn't really think all this through, or maybe this is all part of the story and there's going to be a giant twist coming some point in the future. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. All right, so I think this one's actually my favorite. This is by Peppa Pig, and she says TSP, the super potato, is disguised as Mr. P and is framing him as TSP and Mr. Potato are not the same person, which is the actual plot of a Peppa Pig episode. And this is actually true. There was actually an episode in Peppa Pig where TSP and Mr. P basically pretended to be each other. So that part is true. Also, he might have kidnapped Mr. P and people went searching for him. Hence the note saying that there was not a good place to look for him. And he would not address himself in a third person way as shown in previous notes written by Mr. P. So TSP was holding Mr. P hostage and people went looking for him at the carnival, but he was hidden somewhere else. It is possible that Mr. P escaped and is the Black Shadow, or he is still being held hostage somewhere, hence why his wife was looking out the window. Possibly nervous because her husband was recently taken hostage, or because you're a police officer and she needs help from one to save him. So this is a long theory, and a lot of it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it does bring up a good point that TSP could actually be the super potato, which is what it stands for in the Peppa Pig TV show. And maybe Mr. P is actually being framed here. Maybe TSP is an evil version, and the evil Mr. Potato doing all of this has actually been TSP. TSP the whole time and Mr. P is actually still good but being held captive somewhere. That would be a pretty crazy twist. Now, I'm not really sure how confident I am in this theory, but I mean, maybe. Let me know what you guys think down below. Is TSP actually Mr. P? Are they like, you know, copying each other? Are they pretending to be each other? This would be kind of wild. All right, so this one's by BBC News. This is the fourth one, and the theory is, how does Piggy infect you? Our current guesses are: 1, she infects you by biting you like a zombie. Number 2, an infection, it shows that when you get hit, you turn into a monster. So maybe the weapon is what infects you. Or number 3, when dying, the screen cuts off to the loading screen. Maybe Piggy makes you drink the potion like dog. And this is actually something I just talked about in the video. But how in the world is everyone getting infected? Maybe whenever you get attacked by one of these Piggy monsters, you then turn into a Piggy. Or maybe they all have potions and then make you drink the potion. But that wouldn't really make a lot of sense, would it? I haven't seen any of the Piggies actually bite people, so I don't think it's like zombies. So I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe getting hit by a Piggy just turns you into a Piggy. Maybe that's how it works. Maybe that's the story. That is definitely something interesting to think about, though, because how in the world would the entire world get infected by just drinking a drink? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. All right, so our final theory here is by Piggy's third biggest fan, and the theory is that Bunny is alive. Of course, I made a video talking about this, but let's read this through. Evidence number 1. In Chapter 8, TSP said that Doggy and Foxy had what's coming to them, but not Bunny. Evidence 2. We really didn't see Bunny get infected. Sure, there was that skin, but most skins aren't canon. And that's true. There's a lot of skins in the game that don't actually have anything to do with the story, and Infected Bunny could be one of them. Now, let's break this down. TSP said that Doggy and Foxy had what's coming to them. So Mr. P was working with Doggy, Foxy, I guess, and also Bunny, but the note doesn't mention Bunny, so that's actually a good point. I wonder what was going on there. Evidence 2, we really didn't see Bunny get infected. This comes back to the if there's no body and if we don't see it, then they're probably still alive theory, so I think this one's probably true. I guess this ties into our first theory of whether or not Bunny is actually a bad guy and has been a bad guy leading us on this entire time. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, guys, that's the top 5 Piggy theories that I found across the internet. Let me know which one is your favorite and let me know what you think of these. Do you think any of these are true? Do you think they're just complete baloney? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this, make sure you are subscribed and keep using star code RealKreek when you're buying your Robux. It helps me out a lot and allows me to keep buying Robux cards to get back to you guys. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.